Right back to the world for our forecast. Let's check in with Christopher Nunley. Gorgeous day yesterday, but we're definitely switching gears.
Yeah, back to the world and back to reality.
Yes.
Today we hit 70 yesterday, 73 degrees at SeaTac, average high in the upper 50s. That's long gone though. The responsible weather factor for the warm temperatures yesterday, we had an upper area of high pressure that has shifted to the south and east, and our temperatures have gone down. We're going to see troughing develop across the northwest, and that's going to allow for a pretty active and cool weather pattern, not only today, but continuing into the weekend and even into the upcoming work week. Temperatures out there at this hour, a good 5-10, almost 15 degrees colder right now compared to this time yesterday. And a big reason why cold front moved in, and we now have that onshore flow. Yesterday it was an offshore flow. We had those winds from the east to west. Today they're coming from the west to east across the state, carrying in the cooler temperatures out there. And you can see it's a little bit gusty. The waterfront kind of rough out there on Elliott Bay. We have those southwest winds at about 15 miles per hour with some gusts up to 20 miles per hour, and it's 50 degrees. And while that's not too cold compared to what we saw yesterday, and when you factor in those winds, it feels a little bit cooler out there this afternoon. Most areas in the upper 40s and lower 50s at this hour, and our temperatures, they're not going to do much over the next few hours. We could add on 1, maybe 2 degrees. So most folks are going to stay in the lower 50s today, which is below average. The average high is now 58 in Seattle. I think we're going to top out maybe around 52 degrees this afternoon. Everett, a chance for a convergence zone eventually developing, creating an uptick in the rain chances throughout the afternoon into the evening hours. So that evening commute could be a little bit on the wet side, and I think that convergence zone will eventually shift south into Seattle, impacting the weather from Shoreline to Seattle once we work our way into the rush time hour as well. And that convergence zone eventually going to dump some heavy snow into parts of the central and northern Cascades. So along Highway 2, Interstate 90, there's the possibility of 4 to 12 inches of snow above 2,500 feet, and that will impact Stevens as well as Snoqualmie passes. So there's a winter weather advisory that goes into effect at 5 p.m. tonight, and that continues all the way until 10 a.m. Saturday morning. Radar, it looks pretty active, but if you get under a shower, you'll expect some sun right after it. Some hit or miss popcorn showers out there, and there's also the possibility of some thunderstorms. We have some cold air aloft moving overhead, and that's allowing for an unstable atmosphere, so don't be surprised if you see some thunder or some lightning, or hear some thunder. And if you do, you want to make sure you go indoors. And there's also the possibility of some small hail out there. Some heavier activity working its way into Shelton, eventually going to move into Allen and Grapeview. This is not too intense though, but some heavier rain starting to move in, and we're expecting that convergence zone to eventually develop later on this evening, again from Everett shifting down into Seattle, and that's going to allow for some of that heavier snow to eventually set up in the central and northern Cascades as we work our way into the overnight hours. And then tomorrow it's going to be a very similar process. We'll see that convergence zone allowing for a few rain showers throughout the day here in Seattle, and then we shift our focus to the nighttime hours on Saturday into Sunday morning. This is when there's that potential for some lowland snow out there for the South Sound. You can see the future radar depicting the possibility of some snow. This is going to be very light, not expecting any impacts or accumulations, but from Everett to Seattle, Tacoma, Olympia could get in on a little bit of wet snow action mixing in with that rain, and that could continue into the early morning hours on Sunday. Again, not expecting any accumulations at this time, but some of the hillier areas above 200 feet could see a light dusting. We will continue to keep a really close eye on that. This weekend, though, temperatures are going to be below average. There's a chance for that isolated storm today as the atmosphere continues to become a little more unstable. Tomorrow, we're going to top out around 48 degrees, and you can see those temperatures going to stay pretty cool over the next several days. We finally rebound into the 50s by Monday, but unfortunately looking like our temperatures are going to be below average for the next 7 days.